catching all the little young what? All the little young what? Young bunnies. Windows and put all kind of regulations and sanctions and ordinances on. Then they'll put tours in there and they'll let the city come in and out and make money off the building, and then he won't even be what? He won't even be in control anymore. And so he just wanted to keep the building just like that. He's got that second floor empty, keep the scenes up. Yeah, so like I was saying about, buildings and all that stuff becoming landmark status, they really put a lot of sanctions and a lot of rules and regulations, a lot of guidelines that prevent, city's gonna make money off of it. That's all it is.
Right.
Where is it? It's right up.
It's Orleans is
It's Rush. It's Rush right here. It's right on State and Maple. It's right on when you get up here by Rush.
Yeah. It's
right on the other side of it, man.
Okay.
Old red building. You're gonna know when you see it. This is the oldest one over here because it stands out. It's so unique. And then all of them like modern architecture, but this one here looks like an old throwback. Look like something from from the saloon days, a horse and carriage.
What scene?
I'm sorry, man.
What scene is this going to be?
Scene here, you get two scenes. You get syndicate headquarters scene, opening scene for the film. Then that the main scene, the Lions Exodus scene. The big shootout scene there.
Okay.
It's got like maybe 5 or 6 murders in that part. Good scene. The main.
Yeah.
He escapes the old dirty syndicate.
He laid out. Yeah.
He got to the stretch. He gets hurt messing with the old rotten syndicate. But he changed his life. For the better. Had to leave them things behind. Okay, this is a good area. Perfect area for the what? For the film, not the inner city. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause we see enough of that. Nothing like that. Nothing that portrays us in a negative light. What about what's the name, huh?
Who's that?
What about what's the name? Aubrey. Mighty. That was good humanitarian. That was
He'll sober up and change his mind.
Huh? Not where it says Gearsick and Perry. Gearsick and Perry, they're the architects. They're on the first floor. Second floor is where we be, this whole part right here is empty. That second part is all empty. Ain't nothing in there. That's the dirty headquarters. So they got the architects and all of them on the first floor, right? Now the second floor. See how old this building is? This door here. So I'm pretty sure all these is apartments, but this first floor up here, man, is all. First floor is empty. We'll be doing most of the filming there. We got 2 scenes here. We got the opening scene, and you got the Lions Exodus, the main shootout.
Oh yeah.
First one, man.
When that motherfucker ate the lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That gave the lizard.
Oh, that lizard. He's running through Watts, man. Through LA. That's what this shot here reminds me of. See it, Keisha Guy. Maybe one more cop, 3 cops would be perfect. Cause you gotta have cops. Gunshots. Look at Maylene. That's Maylene, ain't it, huh? He said home is what is? Huh?
The fucking.
What Jasmine at, huh? Jasmine madder than what, huh? Now as we get closer, we can't see nothing from here. But as you get closer down here, you're gonna see it's an ugly shot. Take a tall one, so you got the Sears Tower that way, right? Then you got the Hancock right there. They're 2 Chicago landmarks, but you gotta go down a little further and you can get them both. Where else could you get them both, Right here, that across the street. I think it's 10 or 20% the insurance. So it's $1 million liability. But if you got a house, a couple houses down, Well, that's 200,000 easy, so that should cover up to $1 million. That's what they want for that $1 million insurance, you know. And you know, got the luxury of having that kind of money. That's real long what? 100,000, you know. See, now you got the tower and the Hancock in this shot. See, it's an ugly what? See, as you move back further, you get them both in. It was an ugly what, huh? An ugly juxtaposition, you know what I'm saying? Pan from the tower to the Hancock, you know. Here you got one, and bam, but we go down a little further, you get them both. You got the, what kind of incorrect energy, man? Kind of energy they got is what? I see to roll. Oh, Rosie brings the sunshine. How the sunshine is out, them motherfuckers don't bring sunshine. They bring what? Man, they bring negative energy. So you want positive people. Everybody I've been running into been pretty positive about the flick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't tell too many of the niggas know what I'm doing. You know, I gave Aubrey a copy of the script. He was just mind blown by it. You know, it blew his mind. Yeah. So how you come with, man, how you think I came with that? And, man, that's the good Lord. That's his gift.
Yeah.
You know, let's see. Man. See the tower and Hancock. You gotta go down just a little further. You can get them both in.
Let me. It's all recorded, so you can keep.
See, now you can get them both. See, there's a tower here. This is the perfect position to get the main two Chicago landmarks.
Go ahead.
Now here's the perfect position. Now, to show you how good and how thorough I know Chicago, you know, just from being on my feet, you know, a lot of footwork. You got the Sears Tower here, and you got John Hancock there. Two position, you know. Perfect position to get them both. That took a whole lot of footwork, you know. Get them both in at the same position. Then underneath these train tracks, we're gonna film Bass's Goodbye. That's when my partner in the film, when she dies, when she, you know, meets her end, you know, right up under here. She's gonna meet her right up under here underneath these train tracks, right by the tower, you know, and the Hancock. You know, we got both Chicago landmarks in there. When the good Lord works through spirit, when spirit is working, man, can't nobody be against you, you know? Might have to come on the other side of the tracks, and then you can really get them both. So you think you really get a good shot of Hancock. Oh, that's ugly. That's an ugly shot. Look at that. That's ugly. Yeah, that's an ugly what? That's an ugly positioning, you know. Oak and Orleans, they can get Sears Tower here. They get the John Hancock there. This is the only place you can really get it a good view of both of them without any buildings obscuring the view. You know, you pretty much got you know, smooth sailing on a clear sunny day. It's like the Peregrine Falcon. He can see 5 miles on a clear day, on a day like today, you know. Got both of them in there. That's an ugly one. We're gonna film the Bass's Goodbye, you know, that scene where my partner dies in this flick right here. You know, this is a ugly shot here, you know. Chicago, putting Chicago landmarks in it. So this was a good I got all top of the line shit, and Aubrey's doing what? Blocking the what? Blocking, man. Progress, man. He's goddamn it holding up. I'm trying to have the stats, you know what I'm saying? Stupid stats, you know what I'm saying? I like it, man. What about the young girl? Everything's going fine, huh? The young bunny, huh? Yeah, you're not married anymore? You're married? That's a good thing, see? Yeah. Mike just wanted to. What about all the young girls we went to school with? All the ones we went to school with, man, they brought some girls, man. They looking like what now, huh? They been out the game, man. Right. Look at Brandon. Brandon's fat as one of the clumps, you know. Brandon, yeah, I seen him with Tracy. I don't remember you. I know you remember, but I ain't no artist. She looked like one of the clumps. Big as a ball. Big as one of the clumps, you know. Mama clump. They could have had her in as an extra. Tracy still look the same now. I've been over Tracy's house a couple times. You be saying, man. Yeah, Gary, yeah. Gary said, I've been gone 16 of them. I said, Gary, you ain't missing nothing out here, man. Same old, man. Sid's a cop, man. Sid said he almost shot James in the face. Sid's a detective, man. Sid's kicking in doors, man. Sid's dealing with some heavy shit, man. You know, that's I wouldn't wish it on anybody, man. That's a stressful job, you know. Dang, bro. Miss Bandit.
What's wrong with it?
Okay, now
You wrong.
Okay, now this film, these films just come to me in mind. I had another idea for a film. This film is called The Canonization of Saints. Now, the canonization of saints, you have to go all the way back to the Roman Empire. Before there were bishops, there were, you know what I'm saying? Before there were popes, there were bishops. And what basically the canonization of saints is, canons were guys like Galileo, you know, I believe also Nicholas Copernicus. What they would do is, like who's the guy that first conquered Alexander the Great? When he would go into a country and he would conquer, first thing they would do when they would get all the religious texts, you know, all the religious materials, everything they had on religion and history. They would see religion is the basis of laws, you know, like America. I got like 150 million Protestants, so it's basically Protestant laws that made the Constitution. So what the canons did, when they go into what they would go do is go into a country, they would get the religious texts, they would read and review the religious texts, and two people would come to them with a dispute, you know, and they go to the canons, and the canons would consort the religious material and decide who's right or wrong based on the religious text. Now the basis of the canonization of saints is you got three people, you know, you got a Christian guy, you got a Muslim guy, you got a Jewish guy. And all those religions are basically the same, you know, basically got the same guy. They got Abraham, and all of them got Moses, you know. Basically what it is, it tells the story of three young men growing up, you know, all from the same area, from childhood, and then they're growing all the way up to adulthood. What they do is basically, you know, they take their religions, you know, and seek their own justice, you know. Right. So it's a basic example of it is it's some skinheads, you know. The scene I had in the film, you know, the skinheads, they burnt down the synagogue and they defaced the church, you know. Just on something radical, just on something, you know, being young, you know. And then what they do after that is, you know, the Christian guy and the Jewish guy, what they do, they have the resources, so they follow the skinheads, and then they end up getting into a conflict with them, and they end up, you know, getting into a shootout, and they end up killing one of them, you know. But the Christian guy, you know, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He feels bad about it, but the Jewish guy, he gets a high off it. Yeah. He gets a thrill off it. He feels religious indignation off it. You know, he feels he did something righteous, but basically what it goes back to the title, you know, they took it into their own hands. They thought it would be better, you know, if they sought their own justice, but vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not a man to seek justice or to impose his will or impose his form of justice based off any religion on any other man. The basis of that was I'd have them three get into it with them skinheads, and I'd have police investigating the murder with the skinheads, and then I have the Jewish guy go over there to Israel because he wants to go fight against the Palestinians. He wants to aid the Israelis, you know, against Palestinians. Then the Christian and the Muslim, they follow him. They go over there, you know. Right. The Muslim guy leaves, and it basically shows how all three of those religions are basically the same, you know, just with slight variations, you know.
Now, what's the name of this one?
This one's called The Canonization of Saints.
Now, tell me about the one with the cloning and
cloning. The cloning one is called Formula of Cages. Now, the Formula of Cages is basically hybrid theory. Right. What the Egyptians came up with way back in BC. You know, they was on something wicked with it, you know, where they could take, you know, DNA from a man, right, you know, and they put it in, they take DNA from an animal, you know, like a man has 23 chromosomes, animals have certain chromosomes that give them certain characteristics, like what makes a horse so strong. Turtle has DNA that makes them live 150 years. That's all DNA, that's all genetics. And they take that DNA and they put it into humans, and what they make is, you know, they make superhumans, super soldiers. to police the police. You know, they have to have something that's above the police, that's above the cyborgs, something with awesome fighting capabilities, something with awesome, resilience. You know?
My bad. Start over. I turn mic on.
Okay, it's on now, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's definitely on.
Okay, the formula of cages. That's basically, you hear a lot about cloning. Hitler was finding out about cloning. Hitler had a cult called Thule. He had Thule. What they were trying to find was Atlantis and certain relics, where they could clone. Hitler was on cloning. He was giving his soldiers steroids and things like that. But the cloning part comes in when you can take animal DNA. You can make centaurs. You can make like Pan. He's got goat legs. He's got horns, but he's got a man's torso, a man's body. That's all in the chromosomes. Like with the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Cometians, they had Anubis. They had the guy with the dog's body, but with the dog's head, but with the man's body. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The basis of that, and in the future,
the guy with the horse body.
A centaur. That's all through hybrid theory. Hybrid theory is basically taking animal chromosomes and putting it in humans and coming with new organisms. It's a process called fission. Fission. That's why they're studying that DNA chart. And the reason I came up with that film, is it's like a blueprint of what they're on. It's like a blueprint of what they're on with science, with stem cell research and all that. They want to get things out of animals and cure human diseases.
Right.
Because if you could take the chromosomes from animals, you can cure diseases. People can live longer. Like a turtle, you put a turtle DNA in a human can live 150 years. Right now, they're at the stage where they can cut a monkey's head off and put it on another monkey, but the only thing they can't connect is the nerves. You see what I'm saying? The nerves are so delicate.
Yeah.
But in a few years, they'll be able to take.
Nanotechnology.
But in a few years, they'll be able to cut your head off and give you a brand new body. Brand new body. Like, it's not that far off. Things like that are not that far. People think this is science fiction, but it's actually fact. This is what we're going on in the future. But God is going to come.
About the police state and the explosion.
Okay, now with the police state, with the way we're living in the police state now, with terrorism, people living and consumed by fear, it's basically going to be police state. They're going to have curfews at night where people got to be in at a certain time. All this is coming based on the Patriot Act. They can enter your house and do this and do that, but with the police, people are going to be living off, credit chips. It's cash is no longer going to be of any value. They're going to have credit chips. They're going to have a way to track any and everybody. And what the terrestrial agents do is they police the police, because with things being that corrupt, the politicians get more corrupt, the police get more corrupt. They start locking up people, and the only way they can generate money is like how we're living in 2005 now. Prisons is the biggest industry. In 1999, the budget for Illinois, 30-something prisons was 1.1 billion in 99. This is 2005. So prisons is basically what's keeping the economy afloat. Public and private prisons. You got companies like Smith & Barney, American Express, Merrill Lynch. They underwrite prison construction bonds. Invest in the prisons, and a person that gets sentenced to a year, which is 61 days, is the actual time he'll serve, but they get $37,000 for their inmates. A certain amount goes to shareholders, Yeah, two more. Certain amount, I'm ready now. A certain amount goes to the shareholders, and a certain amount, goes to the owners. Because if you own stock in a prison, you got to think, as long as those prisons stay full, you're going to get paid. And that's going to be like the main commodity in the future when people are poor. Crime's going to escalate, fear's going to escalate. That's the whole synopsis with the formula of cages.
What year is the formula of cages?
Formula of cages is like 2055. 2055. They got hybrids.
50 years from now.
Yeah, 50 years from now. They can go into space. They can breathe in space without a spacesuit. They can handle that extreme cold based on the DNA. They get the polar bear's DNA. Polar bear can lay right down in the ice. And the only thing they got polar bear DNA in them. You know what I'm saying? They put all that DNA in humans, but they also have side effects from that DNA. I put that in the film, because their emotions, that DNA affects their emotions, It affects how they react to certain situations, And basically, that's the whole,
Talk about that big scene where there's an explosion in the building.
There's an explosion in it.
You said they were going to blow up a building. There was a scene where you had mentioned that.
In the form of cages?
The form of cages.
Okay, in the form of cages. Now they go to the 3 terrestrial agents, the 3 superheroes that they created, right? They go to a bank and rob the bank. They're like modern day Robin Hoods. You know, Robin Hood was a martial artist. He was familiar with the martial arts, with ninjutsu, you know. So they go in and they rob the bank and blow up the bank. But what the leader of the terrestrial agent is, he pulls out what's called an encompasser. An encompasser is like a little small modern day black hole, you know. He created basically a black hole, and when the building explodes, he throws a little small encompasser down. And they send planes, they send soldiers, and all of them get sucked up in that little thing, that little encompasser. The encompasser, it can only hold so much before it explodes. You see what I'm saying? That's the basis, you know what I'm saying, of explosion. You know, the encompasser is like a modern black hole. You know, he creates a black hole, you know. Huh?
It's crazy.
That's what, huh?
It's crazy.
That's like, you know, a black hole is like an exploding star. You know, when a star explodes, like with the space shuttle. The space shuttle is real raggedy. It takes like 150 years to get from here to Pluto. But if they come with a time machine, something to break the space-time continuum, to break the matter down, where they could teleport. You know, time travel is possible if you're able to break down the matter. You know, like the distance, it takes 150 years if they're traveling in the space-time continuum. But if they're able to break the space-time continuum, come on a teleportation machine where they can break the matter down and they can teleport into the future, 150 years, you know, they can reach Pluto. You know, it's like 148 planets in this solar system, you know. That's how they're able to travel to stars and all that. They're going to be doing that in the form of cages. They're going to be, you know, time traveling, breaking the space-time continuum, all of that, you know. They're going to be doing all that, you know. This is monumental. It's going to be bigger than the Matrix, not all confusing, none. It's going to be...
You could say something to the camera.
You know, like with Albert Einstein, he said, imagination is greater. Albert Einstein said, imagination is greater than knowledge. You know, that's basically what they're on. If you can break space-time continuum, they say in 2055 they'll have trips to Mars. You know, but it takes them a year to get from here to the moon, right? And the moon is our satellite. But if they come with something to break the space-time continuum, you know, where they can break the matter down, because everything is molecules, they can break the matter down and project them into the future, because it's nothing but calculating the distance and finding a way to break the matter down and then teleport it that far into the future. That's all it is, you know. That's the whole theory of it. Like, Pluto's 150 years from here, right? So they're gonna have machines that can break down the distance, you know, calculate the distance. They enter the data in the computer. It breaks down all the matter in the ship, and the ship is basically like a time machine, where it breaks the space-time continuum, and it goes from here to Pluto in a few seconds, and they're 150 years in the future, just like that. You know, that's that quick.
The actor involved.
That's why I'm at the movie.
Here's the time for you to be the comical part.
I can be a ham now, occasionally.
Alright, yeah. Doesn't it change when the camera's on? It's like, yeah. Action. Go. That'll work. Got it. Here we are, heading to meet Matthew Jones to finish the follow-up documentary footage of the making of Lion's Exodus, his first film, one of 7, and we're meeting today, and we're in Chicago. It's a Saturday night, it's Friday night. And we're hitting the streets. We're doing it underground. And we're gonna do our best to get this film to win an Oscar. But this is where it starts. Me with a handheld. Peace out. And here we are. The mic's on. And here we are. I'm supposed to meet Matthew Jones at the McDonald's over here. So I connected the microphone. I really want the steps to be documented because we're building a film, an independent film. This is not even independent. This is underground, but a real film, okay? None of those things that you see and you know is cheesy. The power of man, determined. So let's go see if we can see Matthew Jones up here at this McDonald's over here. Okay, we're back.
Motherfucker, go get at what? You got 3 or 4.
Lion's Exodus.
Lion's Exodus is what, huh?
You gotta talk to him. We out here. We're putting this shit together underground. Not even independent. This is the footage. It's documentary right here. That's how we're doing it. You can sit out here. Sit right here and shit. Couple of
finances has been going good. You know, I've talked with 2 financiers. This guy, he's got an album released tomorrow. Send him a copy of the script. He's got people in Hollywood. He's got a brother in the NBA. We're gonna try to, you know, just basically just get on the support we can, but mainly we want to shoot it here because for the plain and simple fact, if we're shooting it here, you know, we want to bring that, you know, the atmosphere to Chicago, you know. They really don't have like a film, you know. But it's like fun, it's like all the producers, you know.
That just, to me, that just make it more.
That makes it more raw, more authentic. That we didn't get any help. You know, we ain't got any. You know, like some of those directors, they got them big producers behind them, like Lawrence Bender, or they got $1 million. But now think what I can do with a production like that. You know, this is just a grassroots production. You know, basically word of mouth. You know, creating a little buzz with it. You know, just basically the grassroots level. Like I said, when I talk to dude.
Okay.
Like I said, when I talked to dude, you know, I didn't know he had all those buildings, you know, but I talked, you know, with him, you know, like maybe 2 years ago. I used to talk with him all the time. Right. But he's got 3-4 buildings, man. In the city of Chicago, you gotta have like I said, that $1 million liability per person to shoot a film, you know. That before the permit, you know, before you need a little funky permit, but you got that $1 million, like he puts the buildings up, there's insurance, you know, then we can shoot the film all over, you know. That's the hurdle I'm trying to, you know, climb with no money, you know. Now, I'm working. The good Lord is man, finding favor in my sight, you know. That's the main thing. That Samuel Adams is nasty, man. That Samuel Adams, it don't taste like no Samuel Adams. Samuel Adams is light or something, you know. Fuck it, you know. Man, it's like the life, you know. It's been real rewarding, you know. Like far as the film, you know, we get. Insurance is the biggest hurdle we got to climb. We climb that insurance hurdle. We can shoot in some of these buildings down here because by us having that much insurance, you know, that basically covers everything. Auto, liability, fire, all that stuff. He's got that in a sample insurance form. Plus we can add additional insurance. What I'm going to have is a whole harmless agreement, like third-party liability on the insurance, you know, have everybody sign a little waiver form. That whole harmless is going to make sure that, you know, that we're held harmless for, you know, any and all liabilities, you know, that they're not able to sue, but we get the third party insurance, you know, and basically how I hurt my back carrying this in the film, you know, in the film ain't even got no stunts, you know. Or I fell wrong with the gunshot, you know, I was acting and I fell on the floor when I died and all my knees hurt, you know.
Yeah.
So they're going to sign that before anything, you know, before any scenes is shot. But the special effects guy, he's giving us a great deal, you know.
That's what I want to see. What are those things called that are on that explode?
Squibs, the blood, the squibs. The blood that spurts out of them, yeah, that's the squibs. Now, he's got to order the squibs, he's got to order the guns. I got to email him a copy of the script with all the gunshots so he can order a squib for like each gunshot. You see what I'm saying? So it's like 14 murders in a flick, but everybody doesn't die by the gun. Like Nellick's bodyguard, he gets his throat cut, he gets stabbed, and then the little girl, she gets beat with a stick. We have to have child labor laws on that because she's under 17, so we got to have note from the parent, note from the school. Then a guardian's got to be there, you know, why the whole thing is filming, but it's only a one-day scene. That's Johnny's apartment. The ideal I had for her is, you know, like having her with a mother of a different race. You know, I wanted to make it multi-ethnic. You know, I didn't want them to be able to pigeonhole it or throw any label on it. This kind of film, because you got them kind of people in all walks of life. You know, low down, dirty people. You know, you got them in all walks of life. But the producing part is proven.
Put this mic right here, just so. Like on your shirt right here. Yeah. Just
so they'll get every detail.
Like I can use everything you say digital clarity. You know what I'm saying? I can have actual footage of fucking when we were shooting.
Yeah. But like the one scene we got for like Bad's Goodbye, right. Where we got Hancock, bam. Had a camera go up, pan down, just position to the right, pan, bam, you got the Sears Tower. They don't know about them spots in Chicago, man. That's for people that's like true Chicagoans, you know, that's hitting the nooks and crannies, you know, and know about them little spots, them little streets, you know, where you can see them both clear, you know, without any obscurity on a clear day, you know, on a rainy day. That's basically what I wanted to make, the whole film here.
Yeah.
And they got we'll be done with it by the time Sundance Film Festival, then Cannes Film Festival in April. And I also wanted to, submit it to some of the others. They invited me to the Rain Dance Film Festival, the Sidewalk Film Festival, just on word of mouth, So what I basically want to do, show them how to make the film, from what? From the grassroots level, without a dime, without a slug in your pocket, to all the way to, putting something together and getting people to believe you and get behind you and get behind what you're doing,
Right.
That's everything, and that's what it's going to take, It's a lot of people out here that's creative, that's got ideas, that's got vision, but without the money and without nobody having faith in them, God, softening their heart, it won't ever get done, It takes money,
Yeah.
Like you see a lot of guys in the rap game and they might have got the money from a drug dealer or something. I'm not trying to stigmatize them or say anything negative, but money has to come from somewhere. And you read about those kings in the Bible, people got a misconception. All them kings was rich, like Abraham, all of them, I got to specify that. And the Bible says Abraham was very rich, livestock, silver, and gold, loaded. So that's how how you gonna help somebody, you ain't got no money, you can pray for them and do this and that, but it's without that money, yeah, it's gonna be difficult to bring it into fruition. But like as far as I'm gonna talk with the guy tomorrow and get in touch with the Chicago Film Office. I don't know why they so bad on answering the calls. It's not like they getting bombarded with films left and right. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn shot that one in Will Ferrell, but them big stars, you know what I'm saying? We just at the grassroots level of it,
You called the Chicago Film Office?
I called the Chicago Film. This was months ago when they sent me that thing in May, man. They sent me that insurance waiver, the sample form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just got to be on file with the Chicago Film Office. That's it, that's all.
Yeah.
Insurance can be done. Like he's got the billings through the bank, right? Mm-hmm. He go through his broker or whoever he's got at the bank, right? They broker the deal, where the buildings are worth, let's say, 150,000.
Right. That's his own audio right now.
That's basically the whole theme of it. We want to making these films. A lot of people got creative ideas, but they got to look at the business part of it, and they got to learn the business aspect. And that's what I had to learn of it. Ground up. I never had any education or formal training. I just read books and basically set up all the meetings myself at Columbia Art Institute. Calling Chicago Film Office and just asking them questions and just getting the requirements of the criteria, the things that I would need, like insurance waiver. Yeah. I had to fax me a copy of that, and the permit, that'll be the last thing. Permits maybe about $100, a couple $100 at the most. So that's the least of the thing. Yeah. Insurance is the main thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like 25, 50 a day.
Yeah.
In one day.
I don't even think it's that much. I think it's like you got insurance, you got $1 million insurance. That goes in part with the permit, to cover, a percentage of that can go to the cost of production. If you got let's say $1 million, liability, it ain't gonna be sweating you for no permit,
Right. Yeah.
That's the least thing they're gonna. The main thing they're worrying about is insured. If something goes wrong, are we insured?
Yeah.
And another thing, like when we shoot at these locations, like the one we got over there in Maple, that the gentleman George was nice enough to let us use. What we do for that is you get what's called location agreements. We'll go in before we do any filming. Take pictures of everything, all the areas we're gonna film before and after, to be sure we don't cause any damage and keep everything and clean everything up and return it to him, without any damage, the same way that he lent it to us. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We're gonna do that at every location. We're gonna take pictures before. Explain to them what type of scenes we're going to be shooting, just mainly for these action scenes, The rest of the scenes, we'll explain to them that off, and then we'll send somebody over there to prepare, like the pre-production, like get the lighting and all that stuff over there, get the camera angles and measure it and get all that stuff over there together, and then let them know, and then we can talk with the building managers about the best access for the filmmakers, going through the back door, the best times, when the tenants are home or when they aren't home. And we can go about it that way. It's a call as the least amount of of disruption as possible. You know, we want to be like kind of clandestine with it. Where we don't want to know people know we're shooting a film. You know, let them go on with their everyday normal lives. You know, like nothing's going on wrong. But basically, it's just the whole process has been a good education for me. You know, the good Lord took everything away. You know, my car, my apartment, my job. And he said, focus on the films. You know, I should have been doing this 7 years ago. You know, but it's a good feeling. You know, you devote and dedicate totally to these. You know, what you want to do. You know, many people that go to work every day, man, they don't even get a chance. You know, to even pursue what they want to do. You know,
right? That's true, man.
You got to think about life like that. You know, by people willing to listen to me and take a chance on me, and I ain't got nothing. I ain't got a credit card. I ain't got nothing. You know, I'm just basically giving it to them word of mouth, show them the script, and then they can make their determination or their decision based on that. You know,
right?
It's not about you know, I got all this money. If the film will be a success, once the film is a success, then we can go from there. We can have the opportunity to make more films. You know. The main thing, you know, getting it off the ground. The insurance, you know, that's paramount.
Who the hell is? Yeah, we running. Who like? What is the who's this character that when we watching this? Like who is he? What's making him the lead character? You know what I mean?
What's making Tutmosis the lead character is his sense of loyalty to the syndicate. You know, he's with the syndicate. He's basically a loner, right? You know, he has different girlfriends, but once they find out he's carrying guns and all that, that's a problem. They want to know what he's doing, but his loyalty to the syndicate, he won't reveal any of that. No, not even to his current girlfriend. You know, his current girlfriend Deborah, she's pretty supportive, but you can't be with anybody, you know, living with a gun. You know, this is not, a lot of people don't understand this kind of lifestyle. Tutmosis basically has no family but the Lion Syndicate, Sickle and Smite. And so what he does, you know, he's good at what he does. He's good at executing the contracts, you know. He found something that, you know, he was able to do, you know, it wasn't his natural path in life, but it's certain circumstances in his path that led him down this lifestyle, you know, being a loner and being all alone, and Sickle and Smite, they embrace him, you know, when he was down and out, so he feels a sense of loyalty to them. But once he sees that their dissension into madness, you know, they're just getting people for basically for, you know, there's basically people that doesn't have anything to do with money, you know, just basically people for being disloyal. They're disloyalty to the syndicate. They're you know, that they're traitors, that they're outcasts, and that they might reveal a secret or expose something or expose someone. You know, that they're paranoid. They're nervous over that. What Tutmosis wants is out. You know, he sees no future for himself in the syndicate any longer. You know, he's been with them 5 years, and he really doesn't see.
You're gonna be playing Tutmosis?
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Tutmosis, you know. Okay. And Tutmosis, he's loyal with his own sense of justice. He's got a sense of humanity. Like when a little child dies, he cries over that scene, you know. So we want to have him not like a hardcore, you know, just like a robot, like the Terminator. He's a human being, you know. We want to have him with emotions, even though he's a killer, you know what I'm saying? Killers aren't killers 24 hours a day, so they have emotions, they have things that break them down as well. And that's what I wanted to highlight, that I don't see in a lot of films. You don't see, like, you see the killers as cold and sadistic and methodical people that are heartless, that don't have any emotion. I wanted to portray a little of emotion, you know. Same thing with Bask. With Bask saying, it's a scene in there where she says, "Oh, you brought green tea, my favorite." You see what I'm saying? These are things that endure the audience to the characters. You know what I'm saying? Give them a sense of humanity, that they're not just cold-blooded, heartless people. You see what I'm saying?
Now, who do you see Bask as?
I see Bask as a female that enjoys, you know, doing what she does, but she's basically getting the people that deserve it. You know, they're not killing anybody out there innocent. They're killing people that are involved in crime. You know, these are not innocent victims they're killing. They're not, you know, killing any mothers or any people that didn't have, just for money, you know, solely. They're killing criminals or people that They're killing people that are basically involved in a criminal lifestyle. You know, they're not out there. Deborah's a bartender. She's a pretty loyal girl. You know, nice and understanding, but she questions Tutmosis as she begins to, to fear him because he tells her he's going to leave this lifestyle alone, and she doesn't get into the specifics of his background. You know, she's just a bartender, pretty much a free spirit. You know, pretty supportive and pretty easygoing, but lifestyle, things that Tutmosis does when he comes home. He goes in the room and he sits down and he's quiet and he's like, bring me some water and just lay down and hold me. You know what I'm saying? She's looking at it like that, like, man, I wonder what kind of things he's doing out here every day, has got him feeling like this, what kind of things is he seeing on a daily basis? What is he doing on a daily basis? He comes home, man doesn't say anything some days, because so he has to be seeing some horrible, morbid things, but he doesn't reveal anything of that to her. He keeps all that inside, but she's like his comforter, but she's not a confidant. Bask is more of his confidant. Bask is like his right-hand partner in the syndicate, the one that he executes most of the contracts with, and it's a line in there with Bass questions. Tutmosis is second in command of the syndicate, but he's always on the job. That's one of her lines. She says, why you always on the job, Tutmosis, if you're second in command? Sickles third in command. He's hardly on any jobs. Sickles got a bodyguard, but it's the one that can execute the job the best. He's very efficient at what he does, Tutmosis. Okay. But at the same time, he has a sense of humanity. He has humanity. I want to show him vulnerable. I want to show him weak. I want to show him hurt. I want to show him, feeling pain, feeling anguish for the things that he's doing. I don't want him depicted, like the killers in Reservoir Dogs or the killers in Pulp Fiction, anything like that. Not that those are bad films, but it's all different types of killers. People can kill in a fit of rage. People can kill, and protect somebody. I believe, everybody got the capacity to do that. If they're placed in a certain situation, Okay, I give you other characters. Sickle, the leader of the syndicate. He's power hungry, he's thirsty, but it's like what George Orwell says, absolute power corrupts absolute. He's like, I'm out of him after like Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin killed 4 million people and then he killed innocent people. If he thought you were doing something wrong, that was your ass. As simple as that. It's a book I'm reading on Joseph Stalin. He's about the famous spy Kim Philby, right? Joseph Stalin had put this guy in one of the gulags, in one of the concentration camps, and let him out. And then Joseph Stalin's like, comrade, where were you? He's like, you put me in the gulag, you put me in a concentration camp. He said, oh, it was a fine time to be in there, just because he was paranoid. You see what I'm saying? And he used to kill. They had something called the Sentry, right? Yeah. It was their headquarters, or whatever, in Russia, back in the 30s. And then he said it was like certain floors, and he would kill everybody on the floors and start over. If it was a traitor, if it was a leak, or he felt people were getting too complacent or too comfortable. Smite is a guy that wants Tutmosis' spot. He wants to be second in command of the syndicate. He's cunning. Smite, Smite. Yeah, he'll stop at nothing. Double crossing, conniving, vindictive, low down. All Smite wants is
What does he look like?
Smite is like how would I describe Smite? Smite's like a slim guy. Yeah.
What is he wearing? Suits.
All of them are wearing suits. All of them are wearing suits. All of them are looking very like
mob type.
This is like professional. They look like professional people, but what they're just professional at their job. They're going out there killing. Smite is like a conniving, backstabbing guy. He'll smile in your face and then plot behind your back. Smite is thinking about his elevation in the syndicate. That's all he's thinking about.
Now, how does he relate to Tutmosis?
Smite is third in command in the syndicate. He's usually deciding to vote, but he tends to side with Sickle, because Sickle is a leader, and then by Smite agreeing with Sickle all the time, they basically have a bond. Like Tutmosis and Bask have a bond. Sicko and Smite have a bond. It's like that in any organization. They have people that they're closest to. Tony Accardo was closest to Jackie Cerrone. That was his buddy. And that's how Smite is with Sicko. And then the other guy, Johnny was a former member of the syndicate, but some of the jobs Johnny went on, they messed with his mind and led him down to the dissension and the heroin, because some people can see one thing and do one thing and it not affect him, but it affect Johnny in a horrible way. He ended up turning to drugs. It was just mild uses at first, snorting them, and he ended up shooting because the images and the nightmares that he can't escape in his mind. Those are the things that's got Johnny, that gets him, an outcast from the syndicate, and that eventually leads to his demise. Now another character in there, Nellis, he was a former member of the syndicate, but Nellis wanted to break off and start his own thing. You see what I'm saying? He basically got enough money for the syndicate and defected. He left out of town and then came back and then wanted to start his own independent operation. Nellis is smart and shrewd as far as business-wise. He's seeing an opportunity for himself. He's thinking, strictly business, But at the same time, he's trying to build his own organization. He's got a bodyguard, and in the process of building his own organization, he gets wiped out. And who else are the characters? Now,
tell me what is the Lions?
Okay, now at the end of the Lions Exodus, Tutmosis is all alone. Everybody's pretty much dead, and then Deborah leaves him. He's sitting there recuperating with his bullet wounds. He's thinking about Deborah. He's heartbroken, so he decides to leave Chicago, and then where it picks up is the pugilist. Tutmosis decides to get in life of crime up and become a crime fighter, like a superhero. He takes all his money, that he made from the syndicate, right? And he becomes a crime fighter, like a 21st century crime fighter. But what he doesn't go after a mafia or a drug dealers or anything like that. What he does is go after corporate criminals, He protects whistleblowers. What I wanted to have him doing was like shooting tasers out of his hand, and this one, he swings from buildings, sort of like Batman, but what he does is he to extract information, out of his victims. He tortures them. He electrocutes them with a taser. He throws things in their eyes to blind them. He uses all different types of methods of attack. He's very intelligent, but he uses this thing basically for good. To protect whistleblowers. And then the ones that are getting away with big corporate crime, he goes after them and he seeks his own brand of justice, because the poor man or the little guy, he has no voice. But like the motto I came up for, it was like, when there is no justice, call the pugilist, And the ideas I have for this film, market it, internationally, of course, and make it like a cartoon. Put it on Adult Swim, a video game as well. Go to Japan for all that, Right. We can get it in something like the manga style. What I wanted him to was come out with his own comic book, because I really believe that's something that's current nowadays, and people could relate to a crime fighter like that, a superhero, because they are criminals, at the corporate level, and they should suffer. And then he gives them their own sense of justice. He's kind of sadistic when he tortures them. He puts the taser on them and electrocutes them. And he'll make them urinate in the spot, take off their shoes, stand in it, and then hit them with the taser right there, electrocute them in their own urine. He gives them a taste of their own medicine, They're basically wiping out the poor man, and thinking that they're getting away with it, but he has the means and the resources to track them down, as well as the intelligence and the determination to get them, to see it carried out and to see justice done, That's basically the whole thing with the pugilist,
No. Okay. The Lions Exodus
is the prequel to a pugilist.
Okay.
Lions Exodus basically tells you with the pugilist, the crime fighter, his background, where he comes from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it basically is. People have to, when they see the pugilist, they're more than likely want to see the Lions Exodus. They want to see where Tutmosis. But in the pugilist, he dons uniform. He's got like a little bulletproof suit. He has the tasers that shoots out of his hand. He's got twin 45s. He's got smoke grenades. He's got he's got tear gas. He's got flash grenades, bang grenades to make them blind temporarily. It basically terrorizes the people that are doing the corporate crime. And I don't want him going after any drug dealers, anything like that, because that's been done before.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right, 5 minutes.
You know, that's basically the whole thing. That's something unique and original. You ain't got nobody that's out here going after no goddamn whistleblowers. That's what they ought to make, something, I think that's something, that people will go see, that people will get their own sense, they go to the movies to escape reality, they get a sense of satisfaction out of the pugilist. I wanted to make a couple sequels to it. I wanted him, in comic books, action figures, by him being such a graphic character. He's sort of like the Punisher, but he's a little more rougher than the Punisher,
Okay.
Once he extracts the information called, what's the name of that corporation? Damn, I think something Enterprise, or whatever. Anyway, these women are head of this corporation, right?
Right.
And then they got the president, which is, they got the president and they got the vice president. The vice president is the CEO's wife, which is just women, you know what I'm saying? But these two women, what they do is they form their own crime organization, or international crime organization. They're in the diamonds, you know what I'm saying? They're in the diamond smuggling. They're into, hits. They're into big corporate crime, and they're into big things, nothing minute, no drug dealing, nothing like that. But what they do is they had their own organization called Grey, and it's run by two women. You see what I'm saying? Right. But the vice president of the company, is the guy's wife. And what they do is they kill the president, and then they take over the company.
Right.
But they hire the guy, Bodie 17. They hire the guy. That's his code name. They hire him to kill. They hire him to kill the old Bentley shop, huh? All these buzzards, buzzard ass bras.
They hired a kid. I'm making sure that shit look glorious as hell.
Yeah, they hire him, but they hire him, to kill. You know what I'm saying? They hire him to kill the president. And in the opening sequence of the film, they got the guy Dean Numberg having a press conference. They just bought out another company, and right while he's in the conference, the guy blows his brains out. He snipes him with a rifle from across from another building. But the opening sequence of the film, they got the guy, Bodie 17, Abner. They got him, that shows him getting out of his car, walking up with a suit, with a briefcase, going inside a building. He says, "I'm a representative local." He goes up so many floors. Then when he comes down the floors, he gets up. When he gets up to the top floor, he's like, "I've been sitting here to see how I can save your company money. Sitting here to troubleshoot. See if anything's wrong." He goes in that room, and then the lady asks him, "Is anything I can help you with?" She says, "No, just give me complete privacy." What he does is close the door. He hits this little computer keyboard, opens it up, and then it's a sniper rifle underneath. Takes that sniper rifle, puts it together, and while that guy, Dean Numberg, now these both scenes they're jumping back and forth, you see what I'm saying? Between Dean Numberg, Dean Numberg, he's got the press there, he's got people snapping cameras, and right in the middle of the streets, man, his brain gets blown out, right on his vice president wife, right in front of the president, right in front of everybody. They're right there with him, so that's their alibi. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So nobody will suspect them or hiring the dude. They cry and boo-hoo and send out messages of condolences.
Yeah.
And then after that, scene goes into them partying. They shut the whole building down. They're in a big corporate office down here somewhere. They got them in there.
What's he about to do to Hollywood? What he about to do to Hollywood? What is he about to do to Hollywood? That's some sick shit.
That's some what?
That's some sick shit.
No, but he doesn't start out like that. It's like when I'm bringing to Hollywood is something, I can do it all, act, write, direct, produce. That's basically what I want is complete creative control. But what I'm bringing to Hollywood is something unique and original. Everything they do in Hollywood is same whole rehash, stereotypical, analytical. And I want to portray the characters, as thinking, If I got the African American characters like a pugilist or Envergale, I want them thinking. I don't want them the emotional thug. I don't want anybody that's that's doing things off its emotions. I want them using their brain. I want them using their brain power, because their brain power, that's their biggest threat, you know. Like the guy in Evergale, he's dangerous, you know. He dresses up like white men. He dons all different types of disguises. He's a master of disguise. He's also, you know, a computer genius, you know what I'm saying? So he takes those skills and he enters into the world of professional killing. But what makes that film so unique, it shows his origin, it shows his evolution into it, you know. Like I said, those two guys are being extorted. Those two guys come by and extort his uncle's restaurant. He tries to defend him in a fight, you know, ends up getting knocked on the ground and ends up having a gun pulled on him. And then he goes in there with the Asian guy that owns the restaurant with his uncle. He's like, "Uncle, you know, who's those two guys?" He's like, "Oh, those guys work for the alderman." Ooh, no, these are aldermen. Those are his henchmen. He sends them around there to extort these two guys. And he goes to the alderman, you know, not believing this. You know, he's naive. You know, he's naive that this type of lifestyle exists. You know, that this type of thing is going on. So he goes in, he looks at the contract and sees that they do owe the alderman. The alderman has got like the whole neighborhood signing like bogus contracts. You know, where you can't modify the contracts or anything, where they giving the alderman a percentage because he fronted them the money, you know, to just get their business off from the grassroots level, right? But once he goes and talks with the alderman, he tries to modify, and, you know, that's to reason with him reasonably, you know, but he sees he can't get anywhere with the alderman, so he decides to get a gun, and he kills those two guys that are working for him, you know. And the alderman wondered what, you know, just a random act, but he rhymes at the same time to make it look like it's a robbery. What he does to the alderman is he goes into his office early in the morning. You know, he watches and stalks each one of them. You know, goes and he watches the alderman's routine. What he does to the alderman, he goes in, he sees the alderman gets his breakfast ordered from somewhere every day. Then he comes in with his suit and tie, and he's like, "Well, I'd like to do the alderman the honor of paying for his breakfast today." And he's just a secretary in the office. You know, but when he has his little girlfriend on the side, you know, the whole thing with the flick is Evergale.